Hello everyone, welcome to my channel once more. I hope you've had a wonderful day so far. Today I don't really want to make a review, but there's something I just came across that I thought I might talk about it, drop one or two words about it, and that is Nerf guns. I do have quite a few Nerf guns by now, probably 10 or something, and their main purpose was to start a battle with some of my coworkers in the office back in the day when I went to an office instead of working from home, but that's another story. As you can see here on my table, I do have two Nerf guns. Those are the most recent ones I've purchased about a week ago. I came across them in a grocery store. So they're, models like these, they're obviously one of the cheaper models with less capability. Here we have two models from, at least to my understanding, a new series, which is the Elite 2.0 series. Also says it right on here. And I thought I might share my thoughts on what I think about this series, especially what I think about this particular gun, which is the Elite 2.0 Volt. Let's just get rid of this one, because my very first Nerf gun is a model that is pretty comparable to this one, and it's actually from the first Elite series, and that is my good old trusty Fire Strike from the first Elite series. Please stop wiggling around. Yeah, there's some obvious similarities. Both of these particular Nerf guns are basically working the same in terms of what they can do and how they work and what features they come with. Both of them only have one barrel. That also means they can only shoot one arrow at a time. They also use the standard Nerf arrows. Here's one just to give you an example. This one is already a bit dented, but anyway. Both of them have something to assist your aim, which is a laser. Well, it's not a real laser, it's basically a red, but a pretty capable LED, which is right here and right here, like directly under the actual barrel. They also have rails, so you can attach some accessories. This is what the rail system on the new one looks like. It actually has two rails, one at the top, one at the bottom. Oh, excuse me for making the camera shake a bit. The old one only had rails at the top, and also it's a different sort of rail system. So I'm not too much into Nerf guns, but is it possible that Nerf is actually changing the rail system? Does that mean that old accessories do not fit any longer? I don't know, but it would be interesting to know. Also, the pullback action is basically the same. It's this handle here that you have to pull back in order to load the gun and to make it able to shoot an arrow. Same as with this one. And the general operating system, it allows for only one shot at a time. One difference is the way you activate the aim assisting system, or whatever you want to call it. I just call it the laser from now on, although again it's not a real laser, it's basically just a red LED. The old Fire Strike had an additional trigger basically below the main trigger, and the moment you press this, the LED turns on. The moment you release it, the LED turns off. This one here has a real switch, which is this one right here. You push it up, laser turns on, push it down, laser turns off. Now, the obvious advantage of this one here is that you don't have to press a second trigger all the time, which is required with this one. On the other hand, the question is, do you really need to have the laser turned on all the time? Not too sure. Another difference is, and this is what I really love, this here comes in the classic orange, the bright neon orange, whatever you want to call it, that I believe lots of Nerf guns come in, whereas this one comes in a really cool light gray blue, some sort of that. And that I really love. This was one of the reasons why I wanted to buy this, because as you may know from my Pixel 5 review, I do love when things come in blue. Now, design-wise, there's pros and cons to both, actually. You have things that I really appreciated, which are mainly cutouts. For instance, here, and just giving you a print on the plastic, they actually come with cutouts in order to tell you that this here is part of the Elite 2.0 series, which I like. It just looks pretty cool. Also, the cutouts at the barrel cover, also pretty nice. I also like that it actually has two rails at different positions, which means, for instance, here you can attach a scope of some sort of optics, and down here, you can probably attach a flashlight or something like that, if such a attachment even exists. But here in the end, it's a matter of preference whether you like the old design over the new design, or actually the other way around. But here's the big but. To me, Nerf guns were always about modification. The Nerf modification community is huge, and that was pretty much cool because, let me just get this out of the way, because the old guns, in this case the first Elite series, the old guns had, granted, on one side the screws were only plastic molds and not real screws, but if you turn it around, if you turn it around, you can see that this Nerf gun is actually detachable. It has I believe 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? 7. Actually, it's 7 screws, didn't really see this one here at first glance. Yeah, if you remove these screws, you can open up the entire system and you can take components off that you don't like. For instance, I always modify the firing action, because there's like an air isolator of some sort that is basically in the bolt action, and that is basically there to allow less air to escape. But at the same time, it basically makes the firing action drag. And since I removed it, right, the bolt comes back without any delay. Just to give you a comparison, before I did that, it looked kind of like that, right? So there was always a massive delay. And by modifying the bolt action, or actually taking one particular component out, I actually made the gun fire better, and the arrows now fly with quite a bit more force than they used to do before I did that. And now, if you want to do that with a new gun, you notice that, yeah, sure, on one side, the screws are not real screws, just plastic mold. But if you turn it around, you will notice there's no real screws at all. Probably there's already tutorials out there that show you how to disassemble one of these without breaking an essential piece. And when I look at how the bolt action actually works, I really want to modify it, but I just can't. One thing they did really good was you had to disassemble the old one in order to exchange the batteries for the laser, which you don't have to do with this one, because here, this plastic part can actually be... Let me just do it real quick. Ouch! You do need quite a bit of force to do that. but you can actually detach it by its own. And here's the case for the AAA batteries. Pretty cool, actually. That's definitely an improvement over the Firestrike Elite. But again, this one here is entirely detachable and therefore way easier to modify. I mean, I only do I would call it a minor modification, but there's people who modify or modified their Nerf guns with way more seriosity and way more, serious attempts to actually change not just the inside but also the outside. And this is just harder if you can't get your hands on the, on individual components. Yeah, this is just a pity. And I will actually try to read quite a bit about the new Nerf gun series in order to check, or in this case to double check, that this is only an issue related to this particular model, and probably even have it here, this one as well, and that especially the more expensive models that are the base of so many modifications I've seen throughout my life, that the more expensive models are probably built with hold on, is that a real screw? No, that was just a hole. I thought for a second that there might be a screw right here, but that's just a hole that basically leads nowhere. Yeah, hopefully this is just an individual case. I would really appreciate if Nerf would release the very same gun, but with options to fully detach it without using force, other than the force that's necessary in order to use a screwdriver. But yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say. I know it's a really short video, not much effort, but it's just something that I thought I should probably talk about. Alright guys, then that's it for this video. Thanks for coming by, and see you around.